Good evening. Welcome to Jordan School District regular board meeting, March 14th, 2022. Could we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Deb Polly,
Here.
Ryan Daynard,
Here.
Sandy Burke,
Here.
Connie Hennan,
Here.
Lauren Pedersen,
Here.
Sarah Lanen,
Here.
Molly Maniak.
Here. Thank you. Consideration of agenda. There's no changes to the agenda, I believe, since it was published, so I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as published.
Motion to approve.
Lauren, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Molly. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no one that indicated they wanted to make public comments, so now we're on to the fun part of the meeting where we have several people here that we want to present with Jordan Pride Awards and give some just and very well deserved awards. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Perkel, our athletic director.
All right. As Deb said, this is the fun part. I love coming up here and doing the Jordan Pride part of this. So first we're going to start with Jerry. All right, there we go. Fun part, Jordan Pride. We're going to start with someone who hears now when he substitutes in the building, oh, you had my grandma in class. Jerry Langsworth, who has been our PA announcer, I think since we used megaphones back in December 1960 was his very first basketball game, Hubman basketball game, and he's been around before our Jaguar program even started. Jerry just finished up his 61st season. Do I have that right? 61st season announcing basketball. He also does volleyball and has done quite a few wrestling, from Hubman wrestling to now Scott West wrestling. So we just were talking this winter, and we got through COVID. Jerry has not, in my 5 years now, Jerry, he has family things, he has this, but Jerry has never stepped away from doing what he loves, and that's announcing for our games. And he's gotten through so much, through Vietnam, through COVID, through all of this. He is our voice in our gym. And so we gave him a little shout out at the game a couple weeks ago, and I'm so glad that the board wanted to recognize him here tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Langsworth.
So before you talk, you'll get a chance to talk, Jerry. But we want to present you with the Jordan Pride Award. Is hereby presented to Jerry Langsworth for serving more than 60 years as a basketball and sports announcer for Jordan Public Schools, whose endeavor for excellence has shown character, determination, and hard work that represent the values of our school and community. This is a small token of our gratitude to say congratulations and thank you for being a role model to others. And thank you, Jerry, for all you've done for our district all these years.
And I can't let it go. I keep hanging in there. I tell the kids they keep me younger. Not young, but younger. I have enjoyed it. It keeps me going. I think if I sat around too much, I would really become an old man. So I try to keep going, and I do enjoy it. While I'm here, I also want to talk a little bit about Knowledge Bowl. We have 3 teams this year, and they have been wonderful. It's 15 of the nicest kids you're ever going to find. 2 teams have made region finals, and we are going there tomorrow to Mankato. And the 3rd team missed out by 3 points. We almost had 3. We started with 90 teams. We are down to 18. And we have got 2 left. And we're with Mankato West, Mankato East, New Ulm, Fairmont, St. Peter. We're with the whole bunch. So I'm really proud of those people. But when Joe said the grandmas and grandpas, that is true. Occasionally I sub, and a kid will come up to me and say, my grandpa said you were his teacher. And I said, and I know who Grandpa is too. I thank you so much, and I hope I can keep on working with the school. I love it, and I hope I can keep doing it. Thank you.
Jerry, I wish we could clone you. Just sincerely, thank you for
Yeah.
what you are for this district and this community. It's, everything you do is amazing, and keep doing it.
Yeah, for someone who's retired, he talked about still coaching Knowledge Bowl, still announcing games. So he'll spend all day subbing, then he'll take our Knowledge Bowl kids to a competition, and then he'll be at basketball that night. So pretty awesome. Great legacy, Jerry. And we go from someone who already has written his legacy to one who is wrapped up and ending his legacy here as a Scott West Panther, Zach Tracy. Two more guys who are still building their legacy, and a coach also still building his legacy. Here to celebrate our Scott West Panther state participants, Zach Tracy, Matt Randolph, and Caleb Tracy. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Stoffaker, where he's going to give you a little more personal touch on all three of our wrestlers that made it this year and our two guys that are still returning. Why don't we get all four guys up here, our Scott West Panther state participants.
That's two mics I've had to pull down tonight, over at Belle Plaine and then over here. Yeah, it's a good thing they have that sport of wrestling for us short guys. So you guys probably know Matt Randolph here on the left, or my right, and then I have Caleb Tracy and Zach Tracy. Now, beginning of the year, I asked the kids, or we were talking, coaches were talking, kind of asked the kids, what's the goal for the year? And none of them really would adamantly say a goal. So Coach Hennon and I pretty much put the goal in front of them and said, we're going to try and get back to the state tournament, all right, as a team. Not as individuals, we want to get the team back to the state tournament. Came up a little short. Got beat by Watertown in the section semifinals. Watertown then won the sections. Ended up having a good run at the state tournament. I was happy for them, but would have rather it been us. So we'll be back to working on that goal of getting the team back to the state tournament. We did end the year at 20-5, so overall not a bad year. We had a couple good wins throughout the year, and overall it was a fun group to coach and work with. Caleb, again, come up here, Caleb. Caleb is that, he kind of acts like a shy kid, but he, don't let the smile fool you. We asked him, what's your goal? Coach Hennon was really pushing him. What's your goal? What's your goal? And he was non-committal to it. And we finally got him to commit to a goal, and the goal was, I'm going to win 75% of my matches, and I want to qualify for the state tournament. That was the goal. I wanted him to go down to 106 because I thought he could win the thing at 106, but he just didn't want any part of that. So he was going to stay at the weight he was at, and with that, he qualified for the state tournament. So he proved Coach wrong, and he won, what did I say, 76.7% of his matches, I think it came out to. He was 32-10 on the year. So he did reach those two goals. We're gonna pump that goal up a little bit. I was just talking to him coming in, and that I said I think we need to bump that up to 80-85% next year, and let's try to place at the state tournament, not just get to the state tournament. But Caleb was our 113-pounder, and I look forward to him coming back next year. Got anything to say? All right, Matt, come on over. Matt Randolph, he was a state runner-up again this year. I hate saying it, but it is what it is. I've been in those shoes, I guess. Matt ended the year 42-3, and he lost to two state champs. He lost to Landon Robidoux from St. Michael Albertville, and then he lost in the state finals to a young man who actually they have now split. Matt beat Jack Nelson twice this year. Unfortunately, they're at the wrong tournaments. Jack did beat him 2-1 at the state finals this year, so Jack has beaten Matt twice, and Matt's beaten him twice. Unfortunately, like I said, he has two state titles, and we're still in search of ours. All right, and I say ours. I just, as a coach, sometimes you're so into it. I mean, I tell kids sometimes they wonder, why are you so tired? I said, well, you wrestled 3 matches today. I wrestled about 42. All right, mentally, not necessarily physically. But, you know, Matt's that kid that does whatever we need him to do. As a sophomore, he took a lot of the role as being the team captain, even though we maybe didn't name a team captain. But he did what was needed. You know, I would send him a text, and then he would pass out the text. They have a group, and I stayed out of that. But he got guys to where they needed to be as far as practice. You know, if somebody needed to move weight, I talked to him, and then he talked to the kids. So he was my, you know, that assistant coach per se within the team. So proud to have him around. And the good news is he's only a sophomore and he's coming back. Caleb Altzel's a sophomore and is coming back. So, you know, 2 good building blocks to start our next year with. So, any words, Matt? No. Last but not least, Zach Tracy. You know, Zach, beginning of the year, wasn't sure about the sport. You know, it's a tough sport. It is a brutal sport. The only time, Frank Kibb says it best, the only time that the sport is fun is after a match that maybe you won, and even sometimes then it's not even fun. And he just didn't know if this was for him anymore. After a lot of conversations, he made the commitment to come out for the team, and he finished the year with us. He ended up 40-10. It's not too bad for a guy that wasn't sure, you know, don't want to say not committed, but, you know, am I fully into this? Am I not fully into this? But at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, about a month before the season was over, I had sat down with all the guys and kind of, what's your goal? What are we doing? What are we working for? What are we working for as a team? What are we working for individually? What do I need to do different for you to obtain your goal, you know, both as a team and individually? So, you know, it's something that it was new for me as far as doing. We've kind of done something like it in the past, but I tell the kids a lot of times doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. So as the last couple of years, we've been trying to change a few things. The one thing Scott West is missing is a state title. So ultimately, that is my goal as a coach, is to hopefully maybe to be able to get us there. We, you know, we've been so close. So what little things can we change that maybe can be the difference? So I asked Zach, what's your goal? What are we fighting for? What are we doing here? And he said, I want to qualify again for the state tournament, and I want to place as high as I can. Pretty simple, not maybe nondescript, but he took a loss in the second round of the state tournament to a pretty good kid, and you know, he battled his way all the way back into the 3rd and 4th place match. So he got himself into a situation where he could place as high as he could. Unfortunately, we came up a little short, losing 2-0 in that match, but I was proud as heck of him, and I told him that numerous times that, you know, thank you, and I'm very proud of him for sticking it out with us and helping us, the team, get to where we got to this year. So, Zach Tracy, got any words for us? You know, I've been here 22 years now. It's crazy to think. I was thinking about it last night. 22 years. I was 2 years as an assistant coach, and then Coach Ripley and I worked together for 18 years, and I've been doing this the last 2 years as the head coach. You know, and I thanked Belle Plaine tonight, and I thank you tonight. The support that we get from the 2 schools is incredible. You know, very seldom do we get told, I don't want to say no, but, you know, hey, can we try something different? But never do we get stone cold told no. Because usually I like to think we're pretty realistic. I like to think I'm a realistic person. But, you know, and I thank the schools for that, and, you know, I look forward to our future. The one thing that I brought up that I was very proud of this team, we achieved the academic gold standard this year, where we had a 3.68 GPA for the team. So as a teacher, that too means as much to me that I'm not working with just a bunch of athletes. I do have student athletes who are doing their homework, taking care of things that need to be taken care of, and representing our school the correct way. So thank you.
Don't go anywhere. I've got certificates for you. Matt, Caleb, and Zach. I'll read it though. Yeah, it's Jordan Pride Award is hereby presented to the 3 gentlemen here and to their coach. A wrestling state participant individual entrance whose endeavor for excellence has shown character, determination, and hard work that represent the values of our school and our communities. This is a small token of gratitude to say congratulations and thank you for being a role model to others. And I just want to say, our grandson is a wrestler, so I've been at and watched you over the last couple of years, and you exemplify for our other students what being a great academic student and a great sport is. So thank you for that. And I just also want to say that I believe that probably your favorite activity outside of wrestling practice is picking sweet corn. Not? It's an inside joke, right? Right, inside joke. So with that, if you want to turn your certificates around and we'll get a picture.
I don't have to, you guys take.
Well, he didn't approach.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I didn't ask, are there any questions that you guys have? That I can get answers out of them.
Yes, absolutely.
I would just like to say, so I made it to, I think, 3 of the 4, down at State. And I think, I have to just tell you, super proud of all of you kids. Like, the hard work was just incredible. I will say, I'm going to embarrass Mr. Randolph for just a minute. Probably my favorite moment was when they announced he had a 4.0. That's a big deal. And the whole place gasped.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, you're not wrong. These kids are hard workers on the mats and in school, and it's just awesome. So nice work.
Thank you.
Renee, I gotta tell you, Mr. Lager put me up to it, but I'm supposed to stall you as much as I can.
I am not surprised, sir.
I'll throw
another inside
one
joke.
more thing out there too, because these kids are awesome. But the coaches, we've got one of our assistant coaches, Chad Williams here. Coach Stoffiger, as you heard, 22 years, but the last 2 on his own as head coach. One of the big things that he has worked with me and Mr. Bergs over at Belle Plaine is we are all one. We haven't done this a lot with our Belle Plaine kids, getting them here to get Jordan Pride certificates. But we have Jordan Pride for these Belle Plaine students just as much because they are part of our team. And that's something that Coach has done a really good job at over the last 2 years is we are one program. So thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations again. That was awesome. Okay, on to consent agenda. We have the minutes from the February 14th meeting, the monthly finance reports, donations. We have a donation from Sharsensky to the Media Center, 2 books, Diary of a Young Naturalist. We have from Fast Signs Nutrition Services, $763.47. From ECMC Foundation to the Jordan Elementary School, we have $10,000. And from the Girl Scouts River Valley, we have that the outside bench out here valued at $909. We have the new hire, Circ Administrative Assistant, Annie Madsen, came in at a grade 2, step 5. New hire, high school paraprofessional, Andrew Butner, grade 1, step 2. New hire, elementary school paraprofessional, Rebecca Steinborn, grade 2, step 4. New hire, middle school softball coach, Alexandria Hillman, per Schedule C. New hire, middle school softball coach, Molly Huss, again, Schedule C. New hire, middle school golf coach, Jeffrey Schipple, Schedule C. And then we have the retirement of high school paraprofessional, Mary Pieper, and resignation of our high school custodian, Jessica Rollins. So I will entertain a motion to approve consent.
So moved.
Sandy, is there a second?
I'll second.
Ryan seconds. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 8.1, review and act on the resolution discontinuing programming and reducing educational programs and positions. And I will turn this over to Superintendent Evenson.
Good evening, Chair Pauly, members of the board. The next 3 action items are routine action items that our district is required to take whenever we have a teaching position that is out of the license field and they are probationary. So the first resolution contains the 2 staff members' names, and then we do them individually, just following that.
So the first one is the resolution discontinuing and reducing educational programs and positions. Whereas said recommendations have been received and considered by the school board, be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District 717, Jordan Public Schools, the following programs and positions or portions thereof be discontinued. 1.0 industrial tech teacher position, 1.0 business teacher position. So then I will entertain a motion, but before I do that, do you want to just explain why we're doing this?
Yeah, so as I shared, when we hire staff that are out of their license area and they are probationary, we must also, at the end of the year, repost that position to see if we can get someone within that licensure area as a candidate. And so that's a requirement we must do. We have these two positions that we will ask for action on this evening. Those will be posted positions. They can reapply for those positions. And so we can have licensed people as well that apply for those positions.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution. Connie, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Sarah? Okay, any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Connie Hennan,
Yes.
Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Sarah Lehman,
Yes.
Molly Maniac,
Yes.
Deb Polly,
Yes.
Ryan Daner,
Yes.
Sandy Burke.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. So then we are on to the resolution relating to the termination and non-renewal of the teaching contract of Leo Willard, a probationary teacher. Whereas Leo Willard is a probationary teacher in Independent School District Number 717, be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District Number 717 that pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.40 Subdivision 5, that the teaching contract of Leo Willard, a probationary teacher in Independent School District Number 717, is hereby terminated at the close of the current 21-22 school year. Be it further resolved that written notice be sent to said teacher regarding termination and non-renewal of his or her contract as provided by law, and that said notice shall be in substantially the following form. So I need a motion.
So moved.
Ryan, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Sandy. Discussion, questions? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Sarah Lehman,
Yes.
Molly Maniac,
Yes.
Deb Polly,
Yes.
Ryan Daner,
Yes.
Sandy Burke,
Yes.
Connie Hennan.
Yes.
Motion carries. The same resolution, I won't reread the resolution, but it's the same resolution. It's just that the person is Paul Garlock, a probationary teacher in the district, and he was the tell me again? Business one, yeah. Thank you. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the non-renewal of the teaching contract of Paul Garlock.
So moved.
Ryan, is there a second?
Second.
Connie, discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Sarah Lehman,
Yes.
Molly Maniac,
Yes.
Deb Polly,
Yes.
Ryan Daner,
Yes.
Sandy Burke,
Yes.
Connie Hennan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Review and act on the, let's see, we did that. EDIAM board resolution. On page 59. Where are we here? Yes. Yes.
So annually, school districts are required to adopt this resolution, which designates some individual within the district as the individual with authority. They call it the Iowa. And typically that's the superintendent or some other person in the district. In Jordan, it's traditionally been the superintendent. And what that means is I have the authority to interact with all Department of Ed and Health-B documents, which is the Board of Licensing as well, and the Office of Higher Education. And then I can designate people within our district to do their jobs as well. It's super important. We do this every single year. The resolution is before you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Ryan, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Molly, thank you, Molly. Discussion or questions or clarification? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Sarah Lehman,
Yes.
Molly Maniac,
Yes.
Deb Pauley,
Yes.
Brian Daynard,
Yes.
Sandy Burke,
Yes.
Connie Hennan,
Yes.
Lauren Patterson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, 8.5, terms and conditions, building nurses.
So our negotiations team has concluded meeting with our building nurses, and we have restructured some things within their contract. Our nurses seemed very pleased with that. I felt very confident in what we ended up doing. We looked at the typical steps and lanes and restructured some of those based on education. So we have a CNA pathway, we have an LPN pathway, and an RN pathway. And compensation is graded out across those lanes. It is $1 extra for someone to have an LPN license, and it's $1 in addition to that to have an RN licensure. And it actually really was quite helpful as we were looking at how we can best compensate those individuals within our district. And it brought us within range with area districts and how they're compensating. Other components of the contract, we added a 30-minute call time for some of those summer on-call components. And we also did a 0.75 adjustment percentage for the CNA pathway, and then an additional 1% on the LPN, RN, and then next year would be another 1%. So it's a very fair contract, and my recommendation would be to have you act on that for approval.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Sandy, is there a second? Ryan seconds. Discussion, or do the other negotiators, Lauren and Ryan, do you want to chime in at all?
No.
On this at all?
Renee did a very good recap of what we agreed to, so.
Yeah, it was very, very cordial, and I think a
Yeah.
very good contract for them, so. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, terms and conditions of the building administrative assistants.
Again, we had really great conversations with our building administrative assistants as well. We did some restructuring on their steps and lanes. We removed, I think, the lower 4 steps and added an additional 4 steps on the bottom. And that helped to right-size our starting point for salaries and get us more comparable with area districts. We added a 3% year 1, a 3% year 2. And I should have mentioned on the last contract as well, we added Memorial Day for our nurses as well, but we also added Memorial Day as a day, a paid day off as well with the building administrative assistants. There was also a request for a cell phone stipend for our 12-month secretaries, and that makes a ton of sense. They are on call all the time, so that was something that we added in as well. Again, I feel really good about the contract. There was discussion about longevity as well. And we've removed some longevity from many of our contracts, and we were able to do that with this. In doing so, we added, I believe, 45 cents onto the lower 4 steps as well moving forward. So really, I think a very fair, competitive contract. And we had just great conversations with our building administrative assistant. So my recommendation would be to have you act for approval.
Okay, looking for a motion. Ryan, is there a second?
I'll second.
Sarah? Okay, questions, discussion?
I would just add on what Renee said, kind of across contracts the last 2 years, we've worked really hard to bring some consistency to language and all the pieces we can. So I think it looks a lot more similar today to, across various groups, which I'm sure is helpful to from a management standpoint.
Great. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 8.7, review and act on the APAC annual compliance overview and resolution. Mr. Williams.
Good evening. What we have in front is just our annual compliance. So what this is in a nutshell is it just shows that the district is compliant to the plan that was proposed and written by the APAC and the school district that was submitted and approved by the Minnesota Department of Education. And that follows the world's best workforce. Just a couple little side notes of the compliance of what we've been doing this year. We've brought in drumming, so we do have an individual that comes in and drums with our students. We are offering after-school tutoring that has increased in numbers, which we're very proud of. And of course, we have our summer activities with the horse camp, and at the end of the year, May 4th, will be our banquet. And so the council has been just wonderful to work with this year, and they've been very supportive and very happy with how the school district has supported our American Indian students. And this just shows again that they are happy and we are compliant with what we proposed and what we decided to do as a district with our council. Any questions? All right.
Thank you,
Good.
Chad.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is an action item, so I will entertain a motion to approve the APAC annual compliance overview, and it's a resolution, actually. A resolution, yeah.
So moved.
Lauren, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Molly. Okay, any further questions or discussion? Okay. I just hope that the board gets invited to the banquet.
Yeah, we talked about it.
It's pretty moving and
It
very
is.
impressive.
I highly
So,
recommend going.
Yes, yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Molly Maniak,
Yes.
Deb Pauley,
Yes.
Ryan Daynard,
Yes.
Sandy Burke,
Yes.
Connie Hennon,
Yes.
Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Sarah Lehman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Review and act on the FY '22 Achievement and Integration Budget. Dr. Yamlin.
Hello. So a quick overview of achievement and integration. So this is a 3-year plan. So we're on year 2 of our 3-year plan that was discussed last fall at the board. But the purpose of achievement integration is to pursue racial and economic integration, increase student achievement, create equitable educational opportunities, and reduce academic disparities based on students' diverse racial, ethnic, and economic backgrounds in Minnesota public schools. So we are a part of this program as a cooperative in the Minnesota River Valley Cooperative with Shakopee Public Schools and Prior Lake Savage Public Schools. So our first goal has to be a group goal between all 3 buildings or all 3 school districts. And that goal is students in grades 6 through 12 who participated in caring and committed conversations will self-report an increase in their level of comfort with initiating and maintaining positive relationships with students different from themselves, from baseline data in 2020 to an average comfort level of 4 out of 5 on a 5-point Likert scale by the end of next school year. And we are on track with that goal based on some of the data that we have been collecting. Then these goals are just specific to Jordan Public Schools, so integrate MTSS Tier 1 instruction, focused on best practices that honor diversity, promote integration skills, and support academic achievement from novice level in 2020 to 70% of teachers self-reporting proficient, measured by a developed proficiency scale. And we are on track for that goal as well.
Can you refresh my memory? What does the MTSS acronym stand for?
Multi-tiered systems of support.
Thank you.
So it's Tier 1 is where all our students, all our teachers, everybody in the district is a part of Tier 1.
Okay, thank you.
So then our next goal is to hire and retain a K-12 equity specialist from 1 FTE to continue 1 through 2023, and we're on track with that goal. Hire and retain a K-12 culture responsive pedagogy specialist with professional development focus across the district from 0 in 2020 to 0.5 through 2023. We're on track for that goal as well. And lastly, implement elected guided study halls, we call them REACH, in grades 7 through 12, focused on academic achievement and social emotional learning from 0 reach offerings in 2020. So currently we have 5 offerings, grades 7 through 12, and to continue that through 2023, and we are on track for that goal as well. Questions about the goals before Amy talks budget?
Can the last one, implement the elective guided study halls? What is that like every student has a study hall?
No, so it's a study hall offering. We offer them 7 through 12, and they're just supported study halls. So instead of a traditional study hall where a student can just go in there on their own, work on homework, there's SEL lessons, there's student support, there's academic support to help students who need a little bit more help getting ahead in their classes, and also SEL. It's more of like your guided type study hall with more direct teacher support.
And it's targeted to those who need it.
Anybody can take it.
Okay.
All right, that's part of the integration goal. So anybody can take it. It's in the course registration guides at the middle school and high school, but then some students are more recommended to take that on teacher recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on the goals? Amy?
Okay, thank you. So as Aaron stated, so this year, for fiscal year 22-23, we are on, the projected income is gonna be about $172,000. So what that means is there will be $152,000 of achievement integration original revenue, and then there's also $20,000 for, that have to be used for incentive uses. So what we do with that is we fund the 0.5 reach teacher at the high school, like Aaron said. We have a 1.0 equity specialist district-wide that's funded with these funds, and also a 0.5 CRP specialist. And we also have money left to buy some curriculum supplies and instructional supplies, and also some professional development so our staff can go to CRP and SEL training. And we can also cover the sub-cost. So we actually have a pretty good chunk of money that funds most of those things that we need funded for this, so they can reach their goals. Any questions?
So what I heard you say was, because of our participation in this program, we're funding basically 2 FTE for staff.
Yes.
2.5 to 1, plus additional.
Yes. Yep. It's based on levy and it's based on state aid, so we usually get around the same amount every year, and we try to utilize that money the best we can. Our first goal is probably to use salaries, and then probably for PD, but yep, we get it every year.
And the program, we are part of the program because we are bordered with Shakopee, so as long as we continue qualifying, and it's also tied to World's Best Workforce as well.
I think that's in legislation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as long as we have the disparity in numbers between here and Shakopee and stuff, then we'll qualify, so.
It's a great program.
And we've been doing it for years.
Yeah, this is our second round, so it would have been, what, 9 years now?
More than I've been here.
Oh, yeah, more than me too.
Any other questions? Clarification? Okay, great, thank you, ladies. This is an action item, so I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Lauren, is there a second?
Second.
Sandy, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, board and administrative reports. We'll start with Superintendent Evenson.
Good evening again. In my report tonight, I thought I'd talk about 2 quick things. One thing is just a small legislative update. As you know, this time of year, things change every day. And who knows where it will land in May. It's hard to tell. I hope you're able to take part in some of the MSBA Friday morning chats that happen at 9 a.m. They're super informative. And they also make those available to watch at a later time. So if you're unable to join that, you can watch that at a later time. I wanted to let you know that we had some really good conversations with Tony Albright, our state representative, as well as Eric oh goodness.
Pratt.
Thank you. Just called him Eric. Eric Pratt, our senator, as well, in the last 2 weeks. And they really wanted to know kind of what our priorities were, and we had the ability to talk through some of the things that are important. One of the things we talked about is there are some companion bills in both the House and Senate, still very different from each other. But one bill in particular that looks at creating some tax relief for community members, but also adding some more revenue to the local operating revenue that is board approved. So looking at some of that, that's kind of a nice conversation moving forward. As you know, we don't have a voter approved referendum, and so for us it's the $724. So looking at what that might look like in the future, maybe around that $800 mark, could be helpful. A lot of work to do on that. The other thing that we talked about as well with sub-challenges, we talked about the need for some streamlining with Pelsby so that people with even 2-year degrees or people enrolled in a 4-year teaching program might have a pathway to be a substitute teacher. And there's even support from Ed Minnesota in some regard to that, so that's something that we're hopeful they might be able to move forward. We also talked about the cross-subsidy. You probably turn on the news almost every day and hear about the cross-subsidy and what is that. So here in Jordan, our special education costs are about $4.3 million a year. And by federal law, that should be fully funded. It never has been anywhere, not just in Minnesota. And so the cross-subsidy is what we pay out of our general budget to cover the gap. And that's around $1.7 million a year. And so talking about if they were to be able to augment or fix that model in some way, that would be quite helpful for all districts. We're not outside of the norm. We're at about 18.1 special education, and state average is around 16.7. So we're not that far from the norm in terms of that demographic. And to be clear, all students are our students, so obviously we're happy to use our general resources to pay for that. The challenge is there's a federal law in place that hasn't been followed, and so that's kind of the conversation. The other piece is just to call your attention to the MSBA virtual day at the Capitol. That's happening this Thursday, and we also have a virtual lobby day. So look at your MSBA information for that. But really grateful for their time. I will say both Tony and Eric are huge supporters of our district. We see them in the community. They interact. It's someone that any of us could pick up our phone any day and call and ask them for support or a question, and they would be there and they would help us. So really appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to just mention is it is almost April. So what that means is Celebrate Jordan is happening very soon. Hopefully today you received the email from Jamie asking if you'd be willing to sign up and stand at our table. We will be back in the circ. I think it's been 2 years since we've had a normal Celebrate Jordan. Last year we did it in like 100 degrees in the sun in front of the elementary. And that was, shout out to the fire department in town who sprayed us all with water. That was amazing. But this year we'll be back in the circ, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It goes from 1 to 4 on April 3rd. So I think that'll be a really good time, and yeah, please join us if you can. And then the other thing, just notice in my report I put some coming events. Like tonight, we've got an all-school choir concert, so I should stop talking because it started 10 minutes ago. So thanks for all your support. We really feel that at the school levels and appreciate it.
Great, thank you.
Can I ask one question about Celebrate Jordan?
For sure.
So are we having a table, or are we doing, like in the past, we've done like guiding kids to play like the beanbag toss kind of thing? We've given out apples. Do we know what we're doing?
So right now what I know is we will have a table. I have ordered some apples. We will see if we can get apples. We are working
Good
on
point.
that. We ordered new pencils as well because we gave away all of our pencils at Jordan Dazzle. And so we had to get another 2,000 pencils, and that should last us through grade season, I think. So for right now, that's what I know is happening. I'm sure there will be more, but sign up and join the fun.
I already did, but yep. Okay.
Thank you. Any questions for Superintendent?
I won't be able to volunteer for Celebrate Jordan. I'm going to be out of town. Sorry.
No problem.
No problem.
Hopefully doing something fun.
I am.
Okay, good.
Okay, any questions or comments on any of the directors' reports? I just want to give a shout out to Ben and to the middle school. I have heard nothing but positives about the, you went on it. The Wolfridge, thank you. I heard so many positive things and people were so, so grateful that the kids got to go. So, yeah, so shout out to them and shout out to the staff. I know it's a lot of work and it's hard work, and a lot of planning, but I think it's well worth it. So,
It was just so good that they got to go. It was last year, or last, it was different.
yes.
So, very glad.
I was glad to see the lacrosse numbers. So it looks like we have 29 kids, half boys, half girls, signed up for lacrosse, which is good.
Can I get one
Yes.
shout out as well?
Mhm.
Our high school music department has just done an incredible job, and really, I'm proud of our whole school system. But I will say, I did get a chance to go to Milwaukee this last weekend and cheer on our harmonics. I could cry right now. It made me, literally, I'm taping them, crying. They were so good. They hit all the notes. They were just incredible. I was so proud.
Yeah.
So, shout out to them.
They're
Sorry.
going to be performing that tonight,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
beautiful. And they maybe gave out 4 or 5 individual, just separate awards, and one of our students got one of them. So Nicole got vocal percussion, and I just was like, oh my goodness, look at our girls. So it was just
Yes.
wonderful. So shout out to all of them.
Again, good representation of Jordan.
Yeah.
So, okay. Any other comments or questions about any of the reports? Kaylin, how about a report from you?
So our music department kind of has a busy week. Obviously, all district choirs tonight. All district band concert is a week from tonight. And then next Thursday, our band and choir heads to New Orleans. So we're all really excited for that. At the high school, it's kind of just everybody's been busy. Everybody's been excited to start spring sports today. I know there's a National Honor Society. The new members have like a celebration next Tuesday. So I know everybody's excited for that. Other than that, it's kind of just been business as usual at the high school.
Okay, and the year is going fast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Any questions for Kaylin? Thank you. Thank you for your report. Okay, we'll go around the horn. Molly, how about if we start with you?
I got to serve breakfast to the elementary school kids.
Isn't it fun?
That was about 300 children that came through, and it was insane. It was pancakes with whipped cream and chocolate drizzle, and so. But it was really fun. But I give kudos to our nutrition department because bending over serving from that small little counter is terrible. My back hurt by the end. But it was good. It was really good.
Good, good. Thank you. Sarah?
Yeah, I was just wanted to again say I was really excited about that the kiddos got to go to Wolfridge, and then just want to say congrats again to our Jordan Pride participants. And I mean, I just think of what harmonics did, what we did for wrestling. I mean, you talked about great representation for Jordan. So that's all.
Great. Lauren?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Connie?
I just wanted to say, I'm proud of all of the kids, but I'm proud of our community because I listen to a lot of the games and the wrestling and everything on the radio on K-Check, and a lot of times they didn't even get through all of the sponsors. That's how many people in our community are supporting our kids, and that says a lot about our community. They're really proud, and that's their money that they're paying so we can listen. And I mean, you can listen in the car, you can listen in the bathtub, you can listen wherever, and it's just kind of cool that they support the kids as much as they did. And I mean, the guy that was doing the wrestling, you would have swore he was right on the mat with the kids wrestling. He sounded like he was so excited. So that was really excited. And then remember that bingo's coming for the Jordan Education Foundation, and also Dollars for Scholars are going to be calling soon. So keep your credit card close to your phone so you can make a good donation for scholarships this year. That's all.
Thanks, Connie. Sandy?
I'll put in a plug for the Dollars for Scholars Phonathon as well. It's actually this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday, I think from 12 to 3:30 is my understanding.
I think so.
So yes, have your credit cards ready. I believe they usually also take checks if you mail them in and that kind of thing too, so if your preference is that. I also am proud of all of our kids in all of our community, but I also wanted to take this time, I know Joe mentioned it in his report, but I wanted to take the time to mention that speech became the first Wright County Conference champions for Jordan when was it? No, it wasn't last Thursday, a week ago Thursday. So, and we have subsections tomorrow, so we'll see. We have a fairly small subsection, so we hope, I should say, that a lot of our students will move on. There are some categories where they will automatically move on because they take the top 9 and there's either 9 or less in the whole category. So, and then sections will be April 9th with state being April 22nd. And we really hope that, at least a few of our kids are able to make state for that. So it's been a really good season. So I'm proud of all of the kids, but I'm obviously have a little special place in my heart for speech as well. So that's all I have.
Great, thanks, Andy. Ryan?
Hello? Is that working?
Is it great?
I would like to make a motion for new mics, by the way. I don't know if
Want
this
mine?
will-
Here.
Stay-
Yeah, yours isn't working.
All right, how's that? Good. Sorry to bring it up for the third time, but first of all, I want to thank the board for supporting trips throughout this entire process. It wasn't always an easy call, 6 or 9 months ago or 12 months ago, but I think, there's been a lot of pretty awesome stuff happening. Had the pleasure of accompanying the kids to Wolf Ridge. I will not win a presidential fitness medal anymore. I can guarantee you that. Snowshoeing and cross-country skiing and whatnot was very good for me, but tiring. But it's just so cool. On the ropes course, I didn't realize what a challenge that is to certain people. And, I was the catcher, so at the end of the zip line, right, when they finally jump off and get to watch their face go from terror to, like, just sheer excitement. It was very cool. So it's cool to see the growth in the kids, and I think every year, probably every grade that gets to go makes lasting memories and bonds as a group. So thank you all for supporting that, and thank you to the teachers who have an amazingly well-oiled machine.
They're
For
good.
sure.
Great. Yeah, I'm pretty much ditto. I got to serve at the high school and middle school, and it was just a blast. I loved it. So we'll quickly go through committee reports. We should have done that before board reports. Sorry, that was my bad. So let's see. City School did not meet. Communications, I don't believe, met. Community Ed Rec, did you meet? No? Okay, curriculum meets next Monday. Facilities did not meet. Meet and confer, we did not have meet and confer. Negotiations, we've already talked about. Policy, we have not met. APAC, have you had an APAC meeting?
Sorry, I didn't read it. Yes, we did, and then they met, APAC, they met separately because they were going over, there's this plan that MDE is not requiring, but they're recommending that you do, and we assume that at some point they're going to require it, so they went over all the goals. So they just wanted the actual committee, they wanted just the parents to be there for that. Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
And so I did not attend that, but there is another one coming up very soon, I believe. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but yeah, we mainly have gone over that and focused a lot on the budget.
Great.
So.
Booster Club?
Booster met. The main update would be of what Renee has already shared with us in regards to the school store. So, and then we are not having a meeting this month. It was just canceled, so.
Okay. Foundation, I believe they're meeting tomorrow night. Did you meet last month? Yeah. Okay.
The diagrams are getting ready to go out.
Good.
Senior signs are getting ready to be up for sale.
Okay.
Getting the details for the bingo, which is the day before, the, Celebrate Jordan. Everything's just moving right along.
And I just add that they are going to do a table tonight and Monday night over in the high school commons for grams and yard signs. So they'll be able to have some presence there with the community coming.
Super, good.
Do we know how much the yard signs are?
Okay, legislative, we've already talked about high school league. They're in the midst of tournament season, and I actually was at the hockey tournament and got to see a lot of my old MSHSL board members and got to visit with Eric Martins, executive director, quite a while, and he's just hoping to get through the next 2 weeks. I'll leave it at that. Scale?
I didn't go on Friday.
No? Okay. Metro Exu, I don't think so. SEAC?
There's special ed, there's a SOAR tour tomorrow, 4 to 5, 130 South Willow Street. If you've not seen Jed's domain over there, it's really, really cool. They have a hotel room kind of set up where they teach kids hospitality. They have a store set up where they learn how to sell and do change and whatever. So, it's 4 to 5 at 130 South Willow Street in the old middle school.
SOAR is for our kids that are 18 to 21 that still qualify for school, and it's to teach them life skills. And it really is cool. It's pretty amazing to see. The
amazing.
kids are there, and they typically have made some goodies that they're very proud of, and just love showing you around. So if you're free, I highly recommend it. Southwest Metro, we meet tomorrow night, so hall's pretty quiet there on that front right now. So, and with that, that's it.
Motion to adjourn?